Robert Moses. And Robert, you are here because Vice President Kamala Harris has made her choice for her running mate.
Yes, Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, has been chosen.
We did not guess that at all.
Which we guessed because we knew whatever we said, it would be the opposite. It's one of those kind of things. Right. A little bit of a curveball.
I thought it was going to be Shapiro.
Well, I did too. People had asked me what I thought. I was guessing Shapiro, but we were wrong. The thing with Walz is that he has gained some serious traction over the last several days.
Why?
His style, he's very folksy. He's a former high school teacher.
What do they call him, Big Daddy or something like that?
High school football coach. You know, he's kind of birthed that weird moniker. You know,
he was the guy who came up with it. Yeah.
So I think his messaging has been very effective over the last several days, and just outside his home in Minnesota this morning, people were trying to read the tea leaves. I was watching some of the reporters who were tweeting photos and videos from his house, and there is a significant bolstering of the SUV presence outside of his home this morning, and people thought, hey, this is much larger than his motorcade normally is. But look, it's somewhat surprising because I think Kamala Harris does not win the presidency if she doesn't win Pennsylvania. And people thought that Josh Shapiro would help deliver those 19 electoral votes to her if she had chosen him.
Well, I think there's a couple things, and again, we're sitting here trying to figure out why she did this.
Right.
So a lot of this is speculation at this point, at least on my behalf. Walz, very Midwestern, you know, very folksy, as you said. He started the weird thing, but he also answers a lot of the people that are on the far left for her, who had a problem with Shapiro because of his support for Israel. There were a lot that were vocal to her. And not saying that that's the reason, but again, when you start going, okay, what is my base? That becomes a factor. Let's not play games here. She's a black woman, and he's a Jewish man.
Yeah.
You know, there are certain places, no matter what we say, that still won't vote for that ticket. So that's a factor for Shapiro. You go back to Kelly, a lot of people thought they can't afford to give up that Senate seat in Arizona. So there are lots of things that played against other candidates out of their favor, if you will, that wound up helping, I think, Walz.
Here's the other intangible that really can't be measured. How do they get along?
Yeah,
you know, a lot of people think, you know, a lot of people say that Kamala Harris really values that relationship. How you know, you're going to have to spend time with this person. You're going to have to be on the plane with this person. They have to be an effective messenger for you when you're not with him.
Right.
And how does he communicate your message? Do you like him?
One other thing I forgot to mention too, like Nancy Pelosi is a big supporter of his. You know, he was a 6-time congressman. She loves former members of Congress. So again, all these factors, we don't know if there was one, but you start putting them together, and now you go, oh, it does kind of make sense. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about negatives. He's embraced socialism in many of his public speeches. How does that play out?
Well, we'll see. Look, the opposition researchers are going to dig up whatever they can against whomever. You know, I think Shapiro had some strikes against him, clearly. You know, Kelly, would he have, you know, would he have delivered what he needed to deliver? You know, so you're obviously going to have to anticipate some of these slings and arrows, which are going to come, no question about it. I think he, in a lot of ways, might be the safest pick of these three. We kind of knew coming down the stretch that she was very likely going to choose a white man, and so that eliminated a couple candidates, and he does have that folksy, down-home, Midwestern appeal. I mean, I saw him at some press conferences where he had, you know, jeans and a T-shirt on. There's something very...
How old is he?
That's a good question. I have to...
I'll look him up.
You know, but you wonder now, and again, this is about the ticket, which is Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. But how much pressure does this put on Josh Shapiro now? Because, as you said earlier, whoever wins Pennsylvania most likely is going to wind up winning the election. Well, she didn't choose him as the running mate, but now it's on him to deliver Pennsylvania to her without being on the ticket. Now, he's got 65% popularity, but still, there's a lot of pressure on him, I think, to bring that state into the Democratic fold now.
By the way, Tim Walz is 60. Thank you to our producer, Alyssa. But yeah, there's tremendous pressure. And this is not the end of the line for Josh Shapiro.
Right.
He is a rising star, as is
Right.
Gretchen Whitmer. Their future is bright in the Democratic Party. I think one thing, you know, there was so much hand-wringing for so long about, oh, we have two old candidates. Joe Biden's too old, too old, too old. But we've actually sort of learned that the Democratic Party has a fairly deep bench. We'll see what happens in November. We'll see if it's deep enough to win the presidency. But there are some promising figures in the Democratic Party that could pay dividends down the line. And yeah, Pennsylvania is still so important.
Yeah.
I mean, even though she didn't choose Shapiro, he's got to bring home the state.
All right. Well, we're going to check this out all day,
Yep.
and they have a big event tonight.
Yeah, the rally tonight in Philadelphia. By the way, Josh Shapiro will be at that rally.
Why do it in Philly? Like, what a slap in the face. Like, I don't know. It kind of adds salt to the wound. He wanted to be the VP pick.
Who knows? I mean, maybe he's been promised a cabinet position. I mean,
Okay.
obviously he's going to play a key role in this administration. I think that's a safe assumption.
And you got to wonder, I'm not saying wonder, this is part of the plan to try and bring Pennsylvania in.
Okay.
This
You
is
know,
like having your cake and eating it too,
putting
right?
him up front. You know, even though he's not on the ticket, he's our guy, and he's still out there. So Pennsylvania, vote for us. You know,
There's a lot
that's
of
kind of the
momentum.
projection.
Yeah.